Welcome back. America is this morning a country under siege. The race riots following the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis spreading city to city. Scenes of destruction, violence and looting as a cauldron of anger spills over onto the streets.
And now the Black Lives Matter movement is spreading. Thousands marching in London. There was a protest planned here in Australia this coming Wednesday. Let's get today's take on this with Shelley Horton from 9honey.com.au and comedian Vince Sorrenti. Shelley, I'm going to go to you first on this, and we are saying this is, for very much Caucasian people talking about this on TV. But these tensions spilling over in the US, it's been coming for some time. Are you surprised by the reaction to the death of George Floyd?
I don't think I'm surprised, because I think that this actually comes from years and decades and hundreds of years of systemic racism and unchecked police brutality. So I think that this is coming from a place of complete pain. I'm surprised that it has escalated into riots and looting. I don't think that that is helping the message, because there are so many people there who have incredible, really, really meaningful stories to tell, and we need to listen to those. So yes, I would like to acknowledge that we are four white people talking about this, and I can't possibly understand what it's like. But I think the one thing I can do is try and educate myself a bit more, and not just be saying I'm not a racist, but actually be actively anti-racist and try and understand from the other point of view, because I can see that this is absolutely coming from a place of pain.
I think that's it. I think people, white people do need to start speaking out as well for it. I mean, Vince, the US is facing two major crises, race riots and a pandemic that has killed more than 100,000 people. I mean, citizens are angry that they haven't heard more from their leader. Donald Trump, we heard before, was taken down to the bunker by Secret Service agents. Do we need to hear more from him? Do we need a national address, or could that just inflame the problem?
Well, I tend to agree it might inflame it, because a lot of this protest is not only, about people who are unemployed and feeling the effects of the virus, but of course the main issue being racism. But his appearance might actually add fuel to this fire. There's a lot of anti-Trump feeling out there amongst these protesters as well. There are some deep schisms in US society that this is really underlining. I remember the Rodney King race riots of 1992, and I really thought, well, this is very bad, but hopefully there'll be significant change from this. That was 28 years ago, a generation ago, and the people that are rioting today wouldn't have even been born at that time. And this problem is still there, this deep-seated schism between African Americans and whites is still there, and it's disturbing.
It is indeed. Let us know your thoughts as well. Go onto Facebook and Twitter. We'd love to hear from you. Moving on, and tobacco companies are under fire this morning for targeting young people through TikTok, Netflix, video games. While direct advertising is banned, cigarette companies are using what are called devious tactics to get around Australian laws. A study found 9 in 10 shows on streaming services include character smoking, with computer games also used to promote the habit. Shelley, Quit Victoria wants movies and TV shows depicting smoking to have higher classifications, including clear upfront warnings. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with this. I think this is insidious, and I think that the laws need to change, because the issue is you can't do it in Australia, but if you import something from another country, then the rules don't apply. And basically, we need to keep up with the changes of social media and the fact that we have so many movies from other countries. So yes, it does need to change. I'm an ex-smoker. I smoked for 20 years. It took me so long to give up, and I just wish I had never started. I now haven't smoked for 5 years, and I want to just say to as many young people as possible, you have no idea how addictive it is and how hard it is to give up. So don't be swayed by this sort of underhanded advertising that really needs to be stopped.
Well, I have to say, as a mum, Vince, I'm so grateful that smoking isn't cool anymore. My daughter hates the smell of it. So is this concerning?
Look, it's good to keep the foot on the throat, I think, as on the anti-smoking campaign, but I haven't smoked for 20 years. I actually feel sorry for smokers now. I mean, enough already, okay? There's smokes are what, $200 a pack. Smoking now is like you're a leper. You've got to go outside and stand in the freezing cold. People look at you like you're from Mars. the number of smokers has got to be so diminished now. Let's just let this thing die its natural death. And yeah, it's good to keep a little bit of vigilance up, but smoking is over.
Good to know. Okay, Shelley and
Vince has
Vince,
called it. He's called it.
Yes, stay with us when we come back. Bindi's big day. The wildlife warrior opens up about why she won't be changing her surname.
And self-service surveillance, the new system cracking down on supermarket theft, and when we return.
Woolworths is trialling a new surveillance system to crack down on theft at self-service checkouts. But customers aren't happy their every move is being watched.
Shelley and Vince are still here to discuss this with us. Woolies say the security measure is aimed at cracking down on those doing the wrong thing. Vince, do you have a problem with your face being on a screen while you're checking stuff out?
Yeah, I kind of do. It seems that everything that makes our lives a bit more convenient seems to take away a bit of our privacy. You know, like e-tags, internet banking, Google Maps, and now I can't even self-check out of a supermarket without being videoed. Now, I'm really angry about this. I saw myself on the screen at the supermarket the other day and I thought to myself, geez, I could really use a facelift.
But see, not everyone's a good, polite shopper like yourself. There's some naughty people out there, Vince. Shelley, images of customers are not recorded or stored according to Woolworths. Do you think it's necessary?
I've got absolutely no problem with this. I mean, it is stopping people from stealing. We know people who, weigh an avocado but punch in that it's an onion, and that is stealing, so it's not okay. The only thing I agree with Vince about is, can they just change the angles? Because when you're shooting up, I'm getting like 6 chins.
You want like
We
an
need the
above
high angle.
camera.
Yeah.
Always look your best. Always look your best.
See,
Think it could be a
then
ring
the naughty
light.
people
Shelley
just
wants to
wear
know if it could be a ring light.
Yep.
Well, Bindi Irwin has decided to not change her surname after getting married. The 21-year-old tied the knot with Chandler Powell in March, but wants to keep the Irwin name as a tribute to her late father. Shelley, she said, after her dad passed away, it was important for her to feel close to him, and that means keeping her family name. I mean, I don't see how this is a question in 2020.
Oh, absolutely. It shouldn't be a question. And the thing that I want to say is it's all about choice these days. You don't have to change your name. It's no longer that a family is buying you with a dowry to go into their family. Therefore, you have to change your name as part of the ownership. What it is, it's just your choice. And I think it's interesting that her now husband, Chandler, is considering changing his last name to Irwin as a nod of respect to Steve Irwin. So, I'm fine with all of it. And I would have been very shocked if she did change her name, particularly when it is so important to her and a very important brand.
Yeah, well, Vince, Chandler Irwin, it's got a good ring to it. What do you think about it?
Yeah, mate, guys haven't got a problem with this these days. It's 2020 and people have various reasons for hanging on to their names. I mean, family reasons like that. Dad was famous, great, keep his memory going. I mean, you might have other reasons why you wanted to change it, like if your surname was Bin Laden, maybe you'd want to think about changing it. I knew a girl at school whose surname was Chiseldick. I bet any money she changed her name.
Yeah, I think she would. It depends.
I mean, if she hasn't, could you please reach out to us on Facebook and Twitter? Vince and Shelley, great to see you both. Thanks for being on the show.
Bye, guys.
Still to come, return to the Lord of the Rings. The cast enjoys a fantasy-fueled reunion ahead on Today Extra.